So many moms tell me that they want to get back into strength training. They want to get back into resistance training, but they're not sure where to start. They're afraid of doing too much. They're afraid of not doing enough. And with the holidays coming really quickly, right around the corner, time feels even tighter. Like, when am I going to get this in? If you think you need hour-long workouts, heavy lifting right out of the gate, or a perfect routine to make progress, today's episode is going to change that for you, mama. I am sharing tips for you how to start strength training postpartum in a way that is realistic, healing, and effective for busy moms. Something that's short, strategic, and without burning yourself out. Let's get it. Feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or like you've lost yourself in the postpartum chaos? Whether you're 4 weeks postpartum, 2 years in, or done having babies, you deserve to feel like yourself again. Hey mama, I'm Val, a functional sports dietitian, postpartum fitness coach, and a mama who understands exactly what you're going through. Welcome to the Strong and Nourished Mama podcast, where you'll find simple, science-backed strategies to heal your core, rebuild strength, and restore your energy without the overwhelm. If you're ready to go from depleted to strong, nourished, and unstoppable, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Before we dive into today's episode, I just want to thank every single one of you, all of the mamas and all of the people who have entered into this giveaway, who have shared the podcast, who have left a review and rated the show. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are the reason that the show is now in the top 2.5% globally in its very first year. And I'm so grateful that you are here. And I want to share because our 1-year podcast giveaway has officially wrapped up. And I am so happy to announce that the winner of the Mama gift bag is Geraldine. She left the sweetest review, and I want to share it with you because it honestly made my entire week. She wrote, "Empowering and encouraging. I'm new here and I am here to stay. I love this podcast. Val's tips are practical, encouraging, and perfect for busy moms who want to feel healthy and strong again. Every episode covers great points and offers resources. Definitely a must listen for every mom." Geraldine, thank you so much. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and congratulations. Thank you again, everyone who entered the giveaway. I'm so happy to be able to give back. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Hey mama, and welcome back to the Strong and Nourished Mama podcast, the show that helps you recover, rebuild, and reclaim your strength in motherhood without the overwhelm. First of all, thank you for being here, whether you're listening during nap time, on a walk, folding laundry, or hiding in your car for 5 more minutes, just 5 minutes of peace. I see you, and I am so glad that you are prioritizing you today. I just read a review of a listener, and it truly means the world. The podcast just turned 1, and I am so excited of how many moms truly enjoy the podcast. It means so much to me because when you share, when you rate and you review this podcast on any platform, you are going to be helping other moms feel less alone, more empowered on this beautiful and crazy journey we call motherhood. So thank you for that. I am so grateful. Today, we are diving into a question I hear constantly. How do I start strength training postpartum when I barely have time to shower, let alone go to the gym? Like, if you're thinking that, I still think that, and I have a toddler and she's 2 years old, and I still am thinking that. Maybe you want to get into lifting weights again, but you're nervous about hurting your core, your pelvic floor, something doesn't feel right, or you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, you don't have time, or maybe you're used to working out, or you used to do it before you got pregnant or even during pregnancy. But now, after having your baby, being postpartum, your time, your energy, and your body, it feels completely different. Or maybe you think, I'll start when things slow down. But if you're a mom, you already know things ain't gonna slow down. If anything, they get a little crazier with every single season. So today I'm going to be sharing the safest way to begin strength training postpartum. And when I say strength training, I also mean resistance training. And we'll dive into that a little bit. The most effective types of workouts when you're short on time, what most moms do wrong in the beginning. We're really going to talk about this and how to build a routine that actually sticks even during the holidays. No perfection, no hour-long workouts, no bounce back pressure. Get that culture out of here. I don't like it. No bouncing back over here. just a realistic, mom-friendly way to get strong again. And we're really going to dive into this. So let's get it. I am never going to forget one of my clients who came to me 6 months postpartum, and she tried going back to her old HIIT workouts. That was her jam, high intensity interval training. But instead of feeling strong, she really felt depleted. She was frustrated. She was leaking during jumping because that's a lot of plyometrics during high intensity interval training. So when she had those jumping exercises, she would pee a little bit and then had lingering core weakness. Now, once we slowed things down, we took a step back. We focused on the basics. So breathing, alignment, posture, rebuilding strength from the inside out. She started to feel like herself again. Her energy came back. She was able to lift her toddler without pain, and she realized that strength training could actually be healing. I don't want you to go into the gym and think that you have to work out to bounce back and to look a certain way. I want you to feel what my client felt. I want you to have your energy come back. I want you to be able to lift your toddler and all of the things that you have to lift as a mom without pain. And I want you to realize that strength training can be healing, okay? So let's dive into talking about strength training and why we need to do it after having a baby. Mama, strength training, resistance training, it isn't about getting your pre-baby body back. It is about building your new mom body forward. It is about building your new mom body forward. It's your new starting line. One where you get to rebuild your foundation, reclaim your strength, and create a body that supports you in motherhood. It's a really, really great starting place. And here's what the research and real life actually tell us. Up to 100% of women, so 100% of pregnant women will experience diastasis recti, that ab separation, after giving birth or at the end of their pregnancy. And the separation is still present in 36% of moms 12 months postpartum. 12 months postpartum, 36% of women are still going to have diastasis recti, which is going to be that ab separation. 40 to 74% of women are going to experience pelvic floor dysfunction after having a baby. Getting back into movement after having your baby isn't just about your muscles, too. Your bones are adapting as well. Your bones are constantly remodeling, meaning they're always breaking down. They're always rebuilding based on your environment, stress, nutrition, your hormones, activity levels, the type of activity that you're doing. Pregnancy and postpartum put your body in a very unique state. Your calcium and your nutrients are going to be prioritized for baby during pregnancy. So about 2 to 3% of your calcium is going to be transferred directly to your baby during pregnancy. So this is a whole nother topic, but if we aren't eating enough, especially we're not getting the nutrients that we need, your body is going to take that from you to be able to give it to your baby. Now combine that with changes in physical activity and movement, your hormones, your posture, your nutrition, your vitamin D levels, breastfeeding. We see measurable decreases in bone mineral density right after birth. Now, this doesn't mean that, breastfeeding causes bone mineral loss. No. But when moms aren't eating enough, when moms aren't fueling adequately, and then they're having to produce and make milk for their baby, their body, again, just like during pregnancy, is going to pull from their own body, from their bones. Where can I get the calcium? Where can I get the nutrients to make this milk and to feed the baby that you need to feed? Now, the good news, bone is adaptable. It responds to load. That means when you start adding in safe, intentional strength training, you're not just rebuilding muscle, you're telling your bones to strengthen too. And we need this because every single decade, we're going to lose a significant amount of bone mineral density or bone mass as we age. So this is why postpartum strength is so important. You just grew a human. You just grew your baby. You went through this very traumatic, intense exercise session, giving birth, going through labor and giving birth. No matter how it was for you, it's still a lot on the body. And strength training, when done correctly in a strategic way, it's going to help shift your body from recovery mode back into rebuild mode. And that's what we want. So strength training is going to help improve insulin sensitivity, lower stress, and also help with cortisol control and manage blood sugars. It's going to increase metabolism for 24 to 72 hours after a session. You're going to rebuild your core and your pelvic floor when done correctly. You're going to boost energy, confidence, posture, and resilience when you lift up those weights. When you lift those weights, or even just your body weight, you're telling your body, I trust you. You are strong. We can do hard things again. Yes. And sometimes it's going to take some retraining. I remember when I was postpartum and I was getting back into, after I did my foundational work of what I teach in my 8-week group coaching program, and I started to get back into adding in some weights, I felt like I needed to retrain my brain and my body how to squat and how to deadlift again. I was like, what is happening here? But as I kept doing it, it got easier and easier, and I was able to get stronger. I had more endurance, and it felt amazing. And all of this matters. So what I want you to think about is starting with your foundation. Your foundation, breath and core. So before squats, before dumbbells, kettlebells, before anything, we start with breathing and core reconnection. Because after pregnancy, your diaphragm, your abdominal muscles, your pelvic floor have literally shifted positions. They have moved. We have to retrain them to work as a system again, to work together in this beautiful, beautiful harmony. We have to train these muscles to work together. Your pelvic floor is a group of a bunch of muscles. Your abdominals, we have a bunch of abdominals that I've talked about on the show before. And then our diaphragm is also a muscle. That's going to help us breathe. But every time we sit, we stand, we move, the diaphragm, the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, along with other muscles within the body are going to be working together. And after you have a baby, you're going to have to retrain them. And my clients tell me all the time, Val, when I finally learned how to breathe properly again, which I didn't even know I had to do, everything got easier. My back pain, lifting my toddler, and even just standing without feeling this pressure, everything got easier. Your breath is the foundation. So what I want you to do is I want you to try 360-degree breathing. I want you to put your hands on your rib cage, and I want you to breathe into the ribs. So the ribs are going to expand like an umbrella, opening up. You're going to breathe into the ribs or breathe into the lats. You can always put a band or a towel around you. I go into way more depth in my program of how to do this. And you can actually feel that feedback if you have something around your rib cage. And then you're going to exhale. So you're going to have the ribs are going to soften, the pelvic floor and the core are going to lift and zip up gently. This takes practice. But you can also do this and practice this while breastfeeding, while driving, while during bath time, which is a really great time because that's an easy way to hurt your back if you're not protecting your core. You could do it before bed. It can be a really good relaxation technique. So if this is new to you, go and listen to episodes 20, 28, 33, 49. I have a lot of episodes on the core and your foundation. I break it down even more there. But we have to make sure that's what we're starting with. And what's really cool about this breathing and connecting it with your entire body is you can start it the day after you give birth. You're still in the hospital. You're in the hospital bed. You can start practicing this. That's what's so awesome. And when you do that, you're going to see a significant difference a week postpartum, a month postpartum, 3 months, a year, and so on, because you're going to be able to start with this beautiful foundation and build up from there. So we don't want to neglect the breathing. And then before you add in weights, we need to master our own body weight. Once breathing and core activation feel solid, we add in movement. And I talk about this when in my program, when I'm teaching group fitness classes, we want to be able to brace the core. We want to be able to move and breathe at the same time, which can be really hard for really any person, but especially after having a baby when everything's like totally different. We want to start with our body weight first. Before you add in the dumbbells, the barbell, the kettlebells, any weight, we want to start with our own body weight. That is really going to help you progress. Your body, even holding your baby, and then gravity is really going to be helpful here. Not the dumbbells, not the barbells, not the HIIT classes. Don't even think about that yet. We have to first master our body weight. So I want you to think squats, air squats, body weight squats, glute bridges, bird dogs if we're doing them correctly, dead bugs, hill slides, step backs, lunges, step ups, wall sits, slow, controlled, intentional, while practicing the 360-degree breathing. This can be very difficult. So inside my 8-week group coaching program, I am actually working with mamas in weeks 3 and 4. We are rebuilding movement patterns. We are learning alignment. We are practicing breathing with the movement and then progressing safely without it being super overwhelming. You can always add weight later, but you can't skip the foundation. You just can't. So we have to practice patience, and we also have to leave our ego at the door, which I know can be really, really hard. Now, 10 minutes counts, okay? It really does. You don't need 60 minutes to make it count or for it to actually be considered a workout. 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. 5 minutes daily is better than 1 hour once a month. We want to practice consistency over that duration. Are you being consistent? So I had an alarm, and I've talked about this on the show before. I had a recurring alarm in the afternoon, or a reminder, because you don't want an alarm when you have an infant sleeping. So it was a quiet reminder for me to practice my foundational movements. And it was typically during nap time. And this was super helpful for me because I had this trigger to tell me, hey, Val, don't forget to do this. Oh yeah, okay, let me practice this, or let me snooze it. And it really helped me practice getting in this movement consistently. And it was only for 15 minutes a day, if that. So you can also try habit stacking. So you're pairing the movement with a different habit that you're already doing. You're doing some squats while the coffee brews, glute bridges during Netflix time, core breathing before picking up your baby, a short flow during floor time. So when your baby has to do floor time and tummy time, you're down there and you're doing it with them, okay? And this consistency is going to beat the intensity every single time. And you're going to feel it, and it's going to be so much easier to progress from there. I also don't want you to ignore any signs. So if you notice leaking, heaviness, pressure, doming, coning in your belly, pain, this is not a failure. This is feedback. This is your body communicating with you that something isn't right. We may need to slow down. We may need to reestablish that 360-degree breath. We may need to modify, change things up. We may even need to regress a little. And if you need support, a pelvic floor physical therapist is going to be worth just everything. Meet with a pelvic floor physical therapist. I highly recommend it. If you're currently pregnant, meet with them now before you give birth. And then postpartum, schedule an appointment within the first 3 to 6 weeks after having your baby. And then continuously meet with them because they can help you in so many great ways and then can give you that feedback right then and there and really tell you, especially if we do have leaking, we have incontinence, we have heaviness, we have pressure. The pelvic floor physical therapist is going to be a really, really great resource. I met with my pelvic floor physical therapist probably like 6 times over the course of my first year of postpartum. And it was great as I was progressing with my exercise. Listen to episode 60 with Genevieve, my pelvic floor physical therapist, where we dive into more about this. It's a really, really great episode. Now, progress over perfection. Your progress might look like less back pain, more core awareness, better posture, more energy, feeling stronger, carrying your baby or grandbaby. I had a client and she is 63 years old. She has her first grandbaby, 6 months, and she's telling me, Val, my hip. And I'm like, what's going on with your hip? And we meet about nutrition as well as exercise. And I'm like, I'm wondering what's going on. And she's talking to me about it. Of course, I'm recommending different people or providers that she can meet with and work with to really identify what's going on. And then I kind of put the things together and I said, how are you holding your grandbaby? And she showed me and I'm like, okay, that could be why. So our posture, of course, this doesn't matter whether you're having a baby or not, it really matters for everyone, right? Because her daughter was having a baby and she hasn't given birth for 30, 40 years. And so it still affects every single person, but how you carry your baby matters. And so when you feel stronger being able to carry your babe or your toddler, it makes a big difference. It's not just about personal records or the scale changing. Don't even pay attention to that because strength postpartum isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's mental. It's you proving to yourself that you are showing up for you again. It is your commitment. And you want to make that a priority. You want to make yourself a priority, especially in any period of your life, but especially after having a baby. So quick recap: strength training rebuilds your foundation postpartum, your breath and your core first, always. This is your foundation, which I go into way more depth in my program. Master your body weight before the external load. So if you are used to CrossFit and Orange Theory and all of these other types of exercises and programs, don't get too excited about going back to what you were deadlifting during pregnancy and before pregnancy. You first have to master your body weight. And then 10 minutes absolutely counts. It's better than nothing. And your symptoms, what your body is communicating with you, are signals. They're not failure. So I don't want you to hide that or keep that to yourself. And progress is always going to be perfection. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some wonderful tips. Thank you for being here, Mama. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel capable. And your journey back to strength doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. We can make it super, super fun. Before you go, I want to let you know something that I've never done before. My biggest sale of the entire year is going to be next week. So whether you've been thinking about joining my group coaching program, starting one-on-one coaching, or grabbing my 6-week strength program, you're going to want to tune in to next week's episode, because I'm going to give you all the details about my Black Friday sales. And it's going to be a very short window. It's going to be from Black Friday to Cyber Monday. And it's going to be the biggest sale of the year. I'm not going to offer this sale again. So be sure to tune in. And this is a perfect way to invest in yourself before the holidays and start 2026 feeling strong, nourished, and energized. So make sure you're following the podcast. Tune in next week. And I can't wait to share with you the wonderful deals I have for you. All right. Talk soon, Mama. Hey Mama, I hope you loved today's episode. If you got something out of it or simply enjoyed listening, would you please take 30 seconds to share it with another mom who could use the support? And if you haven't yet, I would be so grateful if you could leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in. It truly means the world to me, and it helps the show reach more amazing moms like you. All right, time to go chase my toddler around. Stay strong and nourished, and I'll be back on Monday with another episode. Talk soon.